We're here at the Wild and Scenic Film Festival Media Lounge based at the Nevada City Winery. I'm Elisa Parker. It's good to be here with you today, and we'll be back tomorrow as well. What a gift to connect with so many amazing filmmakers and also the people who are featured in the film. That's another unique part of this festival, is that we get to meet some of the subjects, including Sarah, who's joining us here along with Andrew. And if the film has a long title. Do you want to do it, Andrew, for me? Because I could read it on my little font.
We'll just go Four Legs Forward.
Oh, Four Legs Forward. Okay. It's so wonderful to have you both here with us.
Thank you.
And welcome to the festival. And, you know, wildfires are so prevalent in our area. It's something that's constantly, not just on our mind, but that we're dealing with and navigating all the time. Yes. This is something that's been very near and dear to your hearts. And this film does, I understand, a wonderful job of like how a personal story and how then solutions around this, because that's the other issue. It's like, do we leave? Do we leave our communities? And you actually, Sarah, not only have you found a solution, but you actually live in paradise now. So I want to talk about that a little bit too.
Okay.
But yeah, Andrew, can you give us a little more synopsis
on this? Of the story. Let's see. Well, it's really a story about community members coming together and really doing relatively simple things, but really meaningful things, and just showing that when residents are educated and they came to a workshop and they subscribed to a newsletter and that sort of thing, that they were able to take it onto themselves to do things around their property and home, and ended up having a big impact.
You're talking about fire safety prevention.
Yes.
Well, right. Okay. Well, so what was one of the big impacts that happened and is featured in this film?
Want to take that?
Sure. So the couple that we featured in the film are landowners in Oroville. And Linda, she's lived there her entire life, so she's in her 60s. So what they were looking for is ways to help prevent fire from spreading up. There's especially a specific area down below on the ditch that was super overgrown. She called it the haunted forest because it was so thick that you couldn't see through it. And she knew that if fire was going to spread, it would likely spread from there up. And so she was looking for solutions, like what do I do with this area? So we're with the Butte County Fire Safe Council, and we are all about educating our community on how to help mitigate the risks of wildfires and educating them on becoming better land stewards. What can you do? You know, and yes, we are grant funded. We're a 501c3, but grants only go so far. It's really about taking action on your own land. And Linda says at the very end of the film, like, you have to love your land. It has to become personal. You have to be the ones to steward and to save your land as much as you can.
Right.
Right. So the treatments that they did was they did mastication, which the word masticate means to chew. So it's a big machine that goes in and chews up the material, like a very specific material though. It's like 10-inch diameter trees and under. So it's leaving that canopy for shade, but getting rid of that underbrush where we know that that's where fire likes to spread, is from the ground up. So if you can get rid of that underbrush, then you can help, lessen that effect of getting that fire up into our canopy of our trees. So that was one of the treatments. And then they also hired me to come out to do grazing. I have sheep and goats, and I help small landowners on their properties with grazing to kind of help that ladder fuel removal and the grass removal.
How many goats do you have?
It's a flirt, so it's sheep and goats mixed.
Okay.
At the time with Paul and Linda in this film, I had 30 goats. Now I have sheep and goats, so I have about 90.
Wow. And what's the process like? Do you rotate them around to different people and they contact you and say, can you bring them to my property? What is that like?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Yeah, it's pretty much just word of mouth for me personally as a local contract grazer. It's people seeing that this actually works. And it's not just about removing the fuel, but it's the function that the goats and the sheep are doing. It's restoring land. It's not just about removing vegetation. It's the impact that these grazers have on the landscape. Because that once was how our landscapes were shaped for millions of years, was by large herbivores. So putting those herbivores back into that landscape actually does so much more than just removing fuel. You're putting back in a function that once was there.
And Andrew, you were telling me off camera a little bit about the outcome of this process and how it actually saved their property. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Well, even though Sarah Jo was so central to the story as it was happening, I was hearing all of this kind of in real time and was certainly interested and concerned and really interested in documenting as much as I could. And we conducted some interviews with residents and that sort of thing. But really, when we went back a few months later, it was the fall, there was a little green grass that had come up, there were some oak leaves that had fallen down, and I literally couldn't find the fire area, the damaged area.
Because there had been a fire.
Because there had been
a fire where
right near their
the
home.
goats and sheep had been grazing, right? Okay.
And the fire kind of had stopped short of their home and short of the whole community, the whole neighborhood. And so it really went to show that this, maybe it was a medium effort or a large effort or a small effort, depending on how you look at it, but it was doable for just average residents. And so it really had a big effect on their community. And when I went back, I couldn't tell where the fire was and wasn't. It looked fantastic. It looked like a park. And I had chills head to toe, and it was the light bulb moment. Aha, like this is how it's really kind of supposed to be. This is what the outcome has been in the past and hopefully will be in the future, is that when we do have these fires, that not everything is this catastrophic horror and mess. That good fire can be really good for the land, and you can go back in a month or two and see just little tiny marks from it, but not have it be devastating.
Wow. Are these areas, are you practicing this, Sarah, too, now that you're in Paradise? Like, I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know exactly what it looks like and what the vegetation looks like now.
Paradise looks very different than it used to. Yeah. So at the Fire Safe Council, we do have contract grazing that we do to help large-scale landowners, and then we also do education and outreach. We teach the community about grazing, the importance of grazing, and also how to, if you're interested in owning animals, or even we have a community cooperative grazing program now.
Okay, cool.
So, because a lot of people aren't interested, it's a lot to take on animals. It's a 24/7, job. So, and people are worried about, I don't know what I'm doing, but if they do it collectively, and it's not just one person, one family, it's a shared effort, but it's also sharing that effort in a fire-safe way to create more defensible space, giving these animals more room to eat and forage and do their natural pattern movements, the rest and disturbance like they should be doing on the landscape at large. So Paradise is, most of our trees, a lot of our trees are gone. So I would say we're coming back in that space. So goats are typically more used on the landscape in Paradise than sheep because they're browsers. They're actually not grazers. So we have a lot of blackberries coming back, poison oak, scrub brush, scrub oak. So that's more of the goats kind of likes.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and that's wonderful to have that community effort and have a solution to that. It gives us hope. It actually can give us hope living in this community and beyond. And real quick, too, moving to Paradise. What prompted you to move to Paradise
thank
recently?
You. Yeah. So they have a first-time homebuyer program, and they're trying to encourage people to come back to the Ridge. And I'm a single mom, and I was, trying to save money and look for an area. And our office at the Fire Safe Council is out of Paradise, so it was affordable. And I have a little stick-built 2-bedroom, 2-bath house that's perfect for me and my 3-year-old son. So, but the community is coming back, and it's. There's stores, and there's a sense of people really wanting to be there again, and young families are starting to move in again, and it's a beautiful place to be.
I really appreciate you both being here. I appreciate you, Andrew, sharing this story. It's important to know what the solutions are that are available to us, and Sarah, for the work you're doing. I mean, finding our passion projects, and every little bit makes a difference. And to also have just to hear your own personal story and updates around Paradise and what is happening there. Obviously, it's worldwide news about it.
Yeah.
So it's, and deep gratitude to you.
Thank you.
And being here. here and for
Thank you.
doing all that. Appreciate you. Yeah,
There's so
appreciate you
many-
both.
So much happening in that area, and I'm sure that this won't be the last story you hear.
It's not going to
from
be
Butte
the
County.
last story. Yeah, well, and here it is at Wild and Scenic Film Fest. When is the film screening?
Well, it's actually part of the virtual showing and the on-tour program for the next couple of
Oh,
years.
fantastic.
So we've already run into on-tour hosts that are excited to share it with other communities. So
That's great.
really
Thank
great.
you so much. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
Part of the magic of Wild and Scenic, we get to be inspired. It inspires activism, and that is one of the beautiful parts of this festival and why it has continued for over 20 years, 24 years now. And do come and connect with us. You'll find Andrew and Sarah out and about in town. That's the other fun part of the festival. So you get to meet everybody who's doing and telling these stories. We have more coming up. I'm Elisa Parker. It is the Wild and Scenic Film Fest Media Lounge, and we will be right back.